Welcome to the Sophrology Network, one-of-a-kind hub connecting the world to qualified sophrology. I'm Florence Pasteur, one of the co-founder of the platform with my colleague Dominique Antiglio. Today, I'm proudly introducing you Sandrine Singleton Perrin. Hello, Sandrine.
Hello, Florence. Nice to see you.
Likewise. Sandrine, I'd like to know first, who inspired you in your life?
Right. I think the most inspiring and certainly the most influential person in my life was my paternal grandfather. I think he's the reason why I became a teacher and stayed in the teaching profession for 25 years before becoming a sophrologist. And the reason why is because he taught me loads of stuff when I was a child. He was an incredible teacher. And I really sort of treasured the moments I had with him because he was patient, he was clear, I felt clever, felt capable of doing things, which wasn't an experience that commonly at school, when I was a child. And I seemed to get it. And he wasn't someone who he was quite private and quite austere as a character. So he wasn't kind of, over enthusiastic or very encouraging, but he had this kind of, he commanded that kind of respect and quiet authority, never fear. I knew I could make mistakes. And anyway, I learned an awful lot from him. And I think that I tried to sort of reproduce and adopt the same teaching approach when I was teaching in a classroom. So one of the things that, inspired me. The other thing is also he was very humble. He did lots of things for his local town, for the young people of his town, so creating a youth centre and running a cinema club, and he was doing all these things without making a fuss, without trying to be in the limelight. He was a very humble man. So we shared a lot of sort of values, transmission, being of service, and what else? And humility. For me, these are important values, and I owe them to him, really. So that's my inspiring character.
That's great, because in sophrology as well, we talk about values. And how did you start your sophrology journey from teacher to sophrologist?
Right, yes. Well, I came across sophrology rather late in life. So although I'm French, I didn't really know what it was, I've got to admit. But just to give you the context, in 2018, 2019, I decided to resign from my position as a lecturer, which was a very difficult moment in my life because it was a very scary thing to do after 25 years. But I was really unhappy. And I think I was in a state of burnout, although I didn't label it like this at the time. I was just really unhappy, started to get ill. Anyway, so after many months of agonizing, what should I do? I did hand in my resignation. And very shortly after that, as luck would have it, I was in France in a spa, and I picked up this folder which said, sophrology. And I thought, and I started reading the articles, and one of the articles was about a colonel from the French Special Forces who was saying that, he was retired, and he explained how sophrology had helped him and his team to do his job, with ease and flow, and how it helped him coping in a very obviously stressful job. So I thought that's really interesting. And then the next article, that's the best bit, because I was in France, but there was this article about the Sophrology Academy in Kent, training the new cohort of sophrologists in the UK. And I thought, this sounds just right up my street. And because I've done a lot of meditation, yoga, and I've been seeking serenity for the sort of, last 20 years of my life. And I thought, I'm going to inquire. So when I got back to the UK, I contacted the academy, went to an open day, and just signed up for it, for the course. So it just happened literally within 2 weeks of resigning. I finished my academic year, and then I started the training in September, having done nothing previously in sophrology. But it did resonate because having done meditation and yoga, obviously we know that these two disciplines influence sophrology. But I like the sound of it because I'm quite, I'm quite hyperactive sort of person, quite anxious. I find it really difficult to, to rest, to pause. And the fact that he was using, the body awareness as well as the mind. And I thought, right, yeah. So that's how it started for me. And I obviously don't regret it.
That's quite a spectacular journey, like 2 articles signed up, bang. That's great. It's really interesting, like the resonance when you can find something that suits you, when it's really well aligned. So well done you.
That's it.
And right now, what is the best things you are working on?
Right. So at the moment, I've had this idea of creating podcasts, sophrology podcasts. So don't get me wrong, it's I'm at the sort of research stage, so it's very much at just a project. So I'm just doing the research, saying sort of working on the format. But the purpose, the idea would be to create something that is kind of consumable, realistic for people to take it on, know what is sophrology without kind of saying too much, not lecturing about what it is, but actually doing something practical, a guided practice that people could do and anywhere, as we know that sophrology is adaptable, and trying to commit to between 8 and 12 episodes of sophrology. So but that would be for the autumn. I'm just working on it. It's probably going to take me a couple of months, just working out the technicalities. But so if you haven't heard from me about this by the autumn, you need to call me out and keep me on my toes. I need to be held accountable, because I've always got lots of ideas, but not all of them materialize. So that's my project at the moment.
But putting yourself out of here, I'm sure it will be a great motivation for people who will listen and play this video. So I'm sure it will be a great effect. And Sandrine, I just would like to know, what is the most proud things in your job? What do you like the most as a sophrologist?
I don't know if it's pride, but it's certainly what is the most rewarding aspect of being a sophrologist is to be able to witness and facilitate people's transformation or journey. And the reason why I'm saying that, I've got one client in mind in particular who decided to try sophrology and work with me when I was actually doing my internship. And she followed and proceeded to work with me as part of a group, but also on one-to-one sessions. And this lady came with she was in a bad place, really bad place, complex issues, and but she was really determined to change her life round. So, she was really committed, really dedicated. She was a lovely, formidable woman. And after a year of sessions working in group and one-to-ones, she achieved that amazing breakthrough and was a changed person. Was a lot happier, the relationship issues, and she managed to kind of turn that around. And that was it was really rewarding, because it's not that you're part of it, you're just helping someone along. They're obviously performing their own magic, they're doing their own work. But and we know how wonderful and powerful sophrology can be. But in her case, it was quite profound, that breakthrough. No, to be honest, I didn't think I could sort of help someone achieve that sort of breakthrough, that sort of transformation. So that was probably the proudest moment. Hopefully there'll be more. But that's being a facilitator and creating, holding space for people to be themselves and create the life they want to create.
And what would be your best advice to somebody who is just starting or contemplating to start practicing sophrology?
Well, first thing, they should definitely start it, to definitely take it on as a practice, because it's a realistic, sustainable practice. What I find myself saying to clients, particularly because people are busy and just they need something that is sustainable and they can implement in their, or integrate into their daily lives. So I usually say to them, especially when they've done a few sessions, so they start to know how it works, is that choose one exercise that you like and that, that works for you, and repeat it. So make, a very short practice, make it consistent, and you will notice significant results. So one exercise, and also the pause, make sure they kind of they end at that short but vital pause where they tune into their sensations and they get back, return to this kind of felt sense of who they are. Because I think the strength of sophrology is that kind of body awareness, which is key to improving well-being, but also key and the basis, I think, of any kind of transformation we want to achieve. So that would be it.
And do you have a mantra which keep you going on into life, changing career, or being so generous?
I've got a new mantra. Do you know when when we say about in life, so you can't have everything in life, you can't have your cake and eat it. So I've decided that we can have our cake and eat it, and we can have it all if we want to, and that's okay.
Absolutely. I think it's very empowering, actually. Thank you so much, Sandrine, for this lovely shared moment with you. Everybody's journey is so inspiring, so thank you so much. And you can find more details about Sandrine's work on our website, www.thesophrologynetwork.com. Thank you so much, Sandrine. See you soon.
Thank you, Florence. Nice to talk to you.